Little Freddie's questions.
Little Freddie?
I will not.
We love Little Freddie. Caitlin loves Little Freddie. Little Freddie's coming every game.
You like having this week off now after you're playing hot, or do you want to get right back out there?
Yeah, no, I like, the momentum that we had going. I wish we could, have a couple days, get a breather, and then play. But, we're going to make this time. We're going to get everything we can out of it. Just keep working on things that we need to work on to beat Minnesota.
The way your offense has been playing, like 2 straight games with 4 consistently good quarters, what do you think has led to that, and how much of that is from your defensive attention leading to some offensive success?
I think a lot of it has to do with us getting stops. That was, we were able to get out in transition, and that's where we're at our best. And then, we were able to push the pace, able to get downhill, and then we just hit wide open shots. And that's, when we do that, we're able to put some points on the board.
We can see Temi in here. What was she able to do today, if anything? How's she trending?
So good to see Temi out here. We're going to finish. We're going to get together and see how she felt, see what she feels like. Hopefully she's hopeful for this weekend.
How much confidence does it give you that you didn't get your first win over a team with a 500 better record until the end of June, and now you have 2 in a row?
Yeah, I just give all the credit to these guys for the work they put in and showing up every day, ready to play regardless of who that competition is. We had a problem earlier where we'd play a really good team and get a good win, and then we'd play and not play as well. I thought for me, just the growth was the 2 games put back to back, 2 good games together, getting those wins was huge for us.
Any players' leadership kind of shine to you in that transition to having 2 good games in a row, having that rep mentality consecutively?
Yeah, I think I think there was a change in the way I felt with just from having all these practices and the time spent with each other during these 3 weeks. Their relationships have changed. They're playing differently. They get so excited for each other. I think that's what I told them before. The joy that they showed, for Lexi in that game the other day against Seattle was that's the feel that just makes you feel so good about what we're doing.
Lynn talks about the rebuild a lot and how she thinks you guys are ahead of schedule on that. Just how do you feel about the rebuild, especially with a playoff berth kind of imminent?
Yeah, I think the one thing that keeps always popping in my head is don't get too high and don't get too low. Stay with the process. As a coach, you play these 2 games and you beat those 2 really good teams, and you can maybe get ahead of yourself. We've got to just keep building blocks. Just keep building blocks. I mean, there's a way you win too. Just like you have to, when you're losing, how you have to practice. When you're winning, you've got to just take it find a way to get better, get to the next step.
You mentioned, obviously, you're going to have a conversation with Caitlin about her technicals on Sunday. Did you have that conversation, or what did that
Yeah, we've had a lot of conversations over the weekend. But she's a fiery athlete, very, competitor. I don't need her to be sitting out a game anytime soon.
All right, coming back to the
I feel good, coming back. It's a day-by-day situation, so we just take it each moment as it comes.
How frustrating, if at all, has it been this season to be battling through something it feels like all the time from an injury perspective?
Oh, absolutely frustrating. Yeah, I've never experienced anything like that in my career, back-to-back like that. So it was definitely a mental struggle, most of all. But I'm glad to see the light now.
What have you thought watching these last 2 games, seeing 2 straight really good performances from your team?
Oh, I'm so proud of my team, in some ways, I'm just let me just keep watching and not mess up the mojo, because we're looking great. But I'm glad to be on the way back, and hopefully can add a little spark as well.
Yeah, I know when you originally got injured your thumb, you played 2 more games. Did you re-injure it, or did they just shut you down after the 2 games?
They just shut me down. Yeah, I was in denial after the first injury. I injured the thumb in Seattle, and then I played 2 games after that. I was just running on adrenaline, running on being angry, annoyed, and then they shut me down afterwards. Yeah.
How much was it bothering you in those games? With her when you
oh
the
yeah,
ball
it felt
everything?
amazing. Yeah, I never felt better. I don't know why they shut me down.
Have you seen anything change in the way they're playing that's leading to these games going on, and they're scoring at such a high level? But what have you seen that's kind of led to this clicking these last?
Just learning each other more and knowing what each other is gonna do on offense and defense. So we make less mistakes. We're not thinking someone's doing something that they're not gonna do. So it just feels like more of a flow.
I know you talked at the beginning of the season about kind of having more tenacity in the early games this season. Just have you seen that kind of when you've been on the bench?
I mean, you see us getting all these texts and getting all these fights. I'd call that a bit more tenacious. I mean, for real, all those little things matter and make a difference. When you can stand up for yourself, you don't have to be fighting. But if you have a little bit of, don't like stick up for yourself, then that adds up.